Meeting of the Crafton Borough Council. The date is Monday, September 12th, 2016. The time is 7:22. First order of business is the flag salute by Ms. Danis.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Amendola?
Here.
Ms. Glasser?
Here.
Ms. Damas? Mr. O'Brien?
Here.
Ms. Perry? Mr. Lavasser?
Here.
Ms. Amendola? Mayor Bloom? Solicitor Gladys?
Here.
And before we begin the meeting, I wanted to make mention of the anniversary, the 15th anniversary of September 11th. They want us to keep in our hearts the memories of those who perished in that terrible, on that terrible day, and also thankful for the heroes that stepped up and put their lives in danger to rescue those and to help support the city in a time of need. So let's keep those individuals all in our thoughts and prayers. Also, Mr. Amendola would like a moment, speak to a moment of silence for two.
Yeah, a moment of silence for a couple of Crafton people. Bonder family lost their one of their daughters. You knew the Bonder Appliance in Crafton. It was up on it was up on Nobletown Road. But the daughter of late Ray Bonder, her name was Lisa Bonder Walker. She was very active in Holy Trinity's church and school, and she died unexpectedly on August 31st at the age of 50. So we wanted to remember her. Also, we wanted to remember another Crafton girl, Carol Kimberling. Dutch Kimberling is her father. He was in the fire department for 22 years here in Crafton. Carol was living in Cleveland for the past 8.5 years. She was a student at Crafton Elementary, a high school student at Carleton, and then went on to the Art Institute. She also died suddenly at 54 years of age. So we'd just like to bow our head for a moment of silence for those two people that are in a better place. Let's just take a moment.
May I add one more fallen Crafton person? Charles James McGrogan was 44 years old. He's actually was my neighbor. He passed away 2 weeks ago. He was a steam fitter, and he's now also passed on, and he leaves behind his son, Ian McGrogan, who just began at Duquesne. So just hold their family in our hearts as well. Thank you.
Rest in peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We had an executive session before this meeting to discuss legal issues. No decisions were made during that meeting. First order of business is the approval of bill list for September the 12th, 2016.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Next is the approval of the ratified bill list for August 26, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for August 22nd, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next thing on the agenda is citizens' comments. There is someone that signed up, Kathleen Watson. You can step up. And it is on the agenda. Hi.
Kathleen Watson, 74 Fountain Street. I just wanted to know what was going on with the 78 Fountain Street. He was there on Friday, I understand. Of course, said he'd be back to start work the next day, but he never showed up. I was just wondering what was going on.
It is still on the trial list for December. I think that our code officer went past and some of the grass was cut.
It has been cut, maybe about every 3 weeks, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, and other than that, there's nothing new to report. We're moving ahead.
Okay. Cutting the grass is not going to stop this thing from cutting down, I hope.
No.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the sewer service report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As noted, 78 Fountain is on the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas trial list for December of 2016. We're just waiting for the case to come up. We have submitted a pretrial statement, and usually there will be one attempt to try to settle the matter by the court. I don't see that being productive in this one, and expect the trial in December, early December. Any questions? Thank you. And 2527 Sycamore is another blighted property. It's been in litigation, and we have recently come to an understanding with the homeowner about settling that matter, and we expect to execute documents for the demolition of the property either this week or next week. And that is it.
Thank you very much. Any comments? Okay, next on the agenda is the business agenda, and first item under that is public safety. I will entertain a motion to approve the ordinance.
No, we're
Oh,
not doing that, we're just gonna, just announcing it,
Oh, okay.
just announcing it.
Okay, under public safety, ordinance number 1638, which is the one-way roadway establishment, Orchard Way, from Noble to Vance, considered for adoption 9/26/2016 meeting. Any discussion on that?
Has there been anybody calling you about the one way? Okay, so the other 26th will be one way then?
Yep. Well, it'll be approved, and then we're gonna get signs up, so, at least a couple days afterwards or whatever, so. Yeah, and the police will not ticket for, they'll give them a couple weeks for people to get used to it being
Yeah.
a one-way street, because it hasn't for some, it's really an alley anyways.
Yeah.
But they'll give them time to adjust, so.
Is it one way from Noble to Vance, or one way from Vance to Noble? Which way is it gonna be?
Began in it to-
From Noble to Vance.
From Noble to Vance?
Yes, it'll be one-way going, so,
You can buy them Crafton Boulevard or.
Yeah, okay.
so whenever the parents drop off their children, it'll be a lot safer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, behind the school,
Yeah.
the elementary school, so that,
No one from Creighton has said anything about access to their garages and how. That's good. That's what it said. I needed that.
Next, I'd like to make an announcement for the ordinance number 1639. Stop sign installed, Willard Avenue at Clearview Avenue. Considered for adoption on 9/26/2016 meeting. Any comments? Next on the agenda is under Public Works.
Can I interrupt you for a second? I do have something else under public safety, it's not on the agenda, but I'd like to talk about something for just a minute, okay? Back in April, we attended the conference up at Seven Springs, and some of us did, 3 or 4 people from here attended the conference, and I was very fortunate. Coletta also attended this particular meeting. I think, Phil, you were there too for David Hickton's talk?
Yeah.
The United States Attorney for the Western District, David J. Hickton, spoke about the epidemic of the heroin problem. And it was enlightening, very enlightening to me. I've only been off the job a few years, but what's going on with the heroin epidemic is just incredibly important. Also I had a chance to talk with Chief Jim Secrete while I was up there at Seven Springs about what his department was doing. So I came back and spoke with the mayor, spoke with the chief of police, and I'm very happy to report that 2 things that were suggested by David Hickton. We were already involved in a heroin database, so anytime the police department interacts with some heroin type situation, they're reported to a particular database, and they're able to read a lot of things and map things out and get a lot of good information from that.
did they say that it wasn't mandatory yet that all the police stations were or were not doing that?
I can't remember what they
Can't
said
remember
up
what they
there.
said, yeah,
I came back and checked, and they were already doing it here, the database thing.
They said
Yeah.
that it was hard to get the real feel because everybody wasn't
I think that's what they, did you attend that thing too? Okay.
involved in it.
I can't remember, I think there
Yeah.
were some police departments who were not involved in the database situation. But there were also a lot of police departments not involved in the Narcan, and we were not. And so the Narcan is a drug that's administered by the police officers, or the EMT people, to neutralize the effects of heroin. And so when someone actually overdoses and they start turning blue, and I've seen it in action when I was working. The EMTs would come with the Narcan, and it was unbelievable. I mean, they came back from being dead, you know. They were blue, they were out of it, and the heroin was taking them, and the EMTs would walk in with the Narcan, and at that time, you know, they would use a needle and inject it. But now it's a lot different. There's a syringe type thing that they just kind of shoot it up their nose. And I'm very, very happy to report that, you know, our police department became passionate about it. And in April and May, the whole department was trained in using the Narcan. The Northwest Emergency Medical Service was, you know, working with us hand in hand and helping us. And we got all the mandatory training that we needed. The chief of police wrote up regulations and procedure manual for what to do, how to use it. And the Narcan, which is supplied to us by the Northwest Ambulance people, was placed in police cars and in the secretary's office. And officially, we went online with that June 17th. And within 5 days, it was used on the 22nd to save a life. And then they, between then, the 17th of June and today, they've used it 5 times. You know, and the result is saving a life, saving, you know, a daughter or a son or a mother or a father or a brother, but it's saving a life. And so I wanted to say thank you to the police department for doing the right thing and having the, and to you guys for, you know, allowing them to have the equipment that we need to do their job, and really commend them, commend the mayor and commend the chief and all the members of the police department that have been trained and really do a good job. Thank you.
And thank you for, Mr. Amendola, for bringing that up, and you know,
I'm gonna write a letter to Mr. Hickton and Mr. Secrete, Chief Secrete, thanking you for being up there that day and bringing all this good knowledge to, you know, all the people that were up there. And I'm sure, you know, a lot more than just I, you know, brought information back and tried to act on it. Because if he wouldn't have been there that day, could have been different, you know?
I was suggesting that they said there's one a day in Allegheny County.
Serious problem.
And there's more across the country get killed a year than heroin overdoses in the Vietnam War.
Heroin's the devil on earth is what it is. Okay, thanks.
well, thank you for bringing that to council's attention. Next on the agenda, under Public Works, announcing CDBG applications, year 43, for 8 handicap ramps at Dakota, on Nevada, Cross, Noble, and Stanwood Streets. Total project, the amount of $30,100. Also CDBG funding for $24,100. Local funding, $6,100 submitted. And that's it for that. Next is announcement, a notice, Duncan Avenue project. The bids are due on 9/23/2016. Next is under administration.
Excuse me, may I ask a question on Public Works? I noticed that the water was running down West Crafton Avenue, and it has been dug up, and work had been done, it must have been done this past week. Was that done?
Sidewalk, yeah, water.
That was the water company.
Okay. I don't know what happened.
There was a leak in the
Water
sidewalk.
main break.
It's all
Coming up out of the
broken up.
sidewalk.
Okay, and it
Water
wasn't
main
the
break.
street
No,
itself,
no,
or
it
we
was
just had to
It was
pay?
coming up out of the sidewalk with the water leak.
Speaking of which, they put asphalt in, are they gonna put concrete back in it?
I can check, it's probably just cold, like, just patch
It is cold
right
patch.
now.
Yeah, but
It's probably just cold patch.
yeah, but,
They'll have to open up, that's what the street opening is, they have to put it back the way that
Okay,
it
good.
was.
yeah.
And you weren't working on Emily, North Emily?
That is, I believe that's, we're doing some manhole-to-manhole lining.
So they're gonna dig up and.
No, lining, just lining. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but we got a lot of people out here. Alcosan is working in Crofton as well, in the Chartiers River Basin. And that's like Crofton, Ingram, part of Robinson, and they're gonna be doing some CCTV work too. So There are a lot of people working.
Yeah, she's telling me we're gonna dig it street by street.
No.
Okay,
I hope not.
that's one thing.
I hope not.
Keep thinking, Laura.
And next is under administration. Announcement, the Alcoasand Grow Green Vitalization of our Waterways Program. Both projects received pre-approval, and the full applications are due on October 31st, 2016. Next announcement is Thomas Street. Installation of a separate storm line. Total project is $90,461.80. Next announcement is about Steuben Street. Construct a rain garden in front of park. Remove the stormwater and pave the parking lot, the pool parking lot. Total project, $158,550. And that's it. Under administration, any comments? Next is under finance, and that is an announcement that the 2017 budget meetings will be October 17th, November 7th, November 9th, and November 16th. Next on the agenda is discussion items. Does anyone have any discussion items to bring up?
Steelers football.
I would like to commend Heather Gamble and her team on a wonderful, fabulous job done at the pool this past summer. It was run in a way that we were used to it being run many years ago, and everything was up to snuff. I don't think there were any problems that were not attended to immediately. So, to Heather Gamble and her team. It's now
It's
Ravenscroft.
Raven, so I was like, who is Heather Gamble?
I knew it was a little bit.
So I was like,
But
But it
who's
is
Heather Gamble?
Ravenscroft. I hope she comes back
Hope
too,
she goes back
because
next year.
it was fabulous.
How was the doggy dip yesterday?
They had about almost 100 dogs yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
We had $10
That's
each.
awesome.
It was like 95, to be honest with you.
What the, how much was it? $20?
$10.
$10
Oh,
a
10.
dog,
Wish I could.
no discount for having more than one.
Yeah, no discount for multiple dogs. They love it. They
Did
love
you
it.
go?
I didn't, I was away for the weekend.
Oh.
Yeah,
I went
did you
last
go?
year, but it was, they love it. They
It
do.
is.
Did you go down in
Yeah, I was taking the money. $10 a dog.
there? Thought you took your dog
Couldn't
down.
get it, no, I took her,
I did.
yeah. Yeah, we made, about, I'd say about 1,200.
Nice.
Good event.
That's awesome. Okay.
Next on the agenda, any additional citizens' comments? Would you like to step up? All right, well then, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Wow, that was the fastest.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
You're not kidding.
Motion carries.
Good job, Dave.
Could be a record.